Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for May 20th through the 26th, 2019. So let's take a moment to really breathe, to relax our bodies as we're breathing, feeling the breath flowing effortlessly. And just be aware of any resistance that you may feel in any part of your body, in the muscles. Try to relax your jaw and to feel your feet really planted on the ground. And as you do this, allow yourself to connect in with your heart space and see your inner light glowing bright and clear and radiant and fully vibrant. Feel the warmth of this energy. Allow yourself to be sort of immersed in the intensity of your spiritual flame. Feel its power, its strength. And they're writing to pay attention to the sentiment that is being communicated from your heart flame, and allow yourself to come into balance with your heart's natural sentiments. You can even invite yourself to step into this spiritual flame that doesn't consume you, but illuminates you. And just feel as though everything that no longer serves you is separating from you, that the love within your heart flame is separating from you anything that you do not deserve, that does not represent your truth, that is clarifying and cleansing and purging everything that sort of is blocking your authentic expression. And as this happens, you feel pure and you feel yourself, you feel the sacredness of your inner divinity. And the angels are asking that you allow the Archangel Michael to come through, to call him into your space with you right now, and for him to bring to you the ninth dimensional cosmic sapphire, which is a very translucent, very light, etheric color of the sapphire deep blue. And just see Archangel Michael standing in front of you and holding out the sapphire, and see it transmute as you ask him to bring to you the cosmic ninth dimensional sapphire, and see it transform into this translucent, light, ethereal blue color. And we're just going to ask Archangel Michael to place this sapphire within you or around you, wherever you need it, to help you to come into alignment with spiritual integrity, to help you to find strength and courage to amplify and uplift your soul, to express your truth with more clarity and authenticity, to empower you with more conviction in your passions, your purpose, your life purpose, in your career, in your relationships, throughout all aspects of your life, and to help you to focus with a clear mind and a light and jubilant heart. And allow your heart to just breathe in joy, is the word that he's writing out. And that you have more joyful connections with people around you, and that things go more smoothly. These are the words he's writing out. And that your faith is increased, and that you make sensible choices for yourself, for your life. Those things that align with your heart. And he's also placing this ninth dimensional sapphire over our Congress. So he just wrote that out, not coming from me. So we can all just hold the space for that as well. And we're just trusting that Archangel Michael, our prayers is that goes where it is needed to those persons that need it, or if it's just for the office that each member holds. Okay, so let's tune into what's coming in for us for this week. And so there's he wrote the word spoke, as if there's been a conversation that you may have had, or something that's transpired. This definitely was written in the past tense. And there was something about affection. So there's a one word that I don't remember, but there's a transformation taking place, is what he's writing, in something that was spoken. So I'm getting a sense that something that was said or something that was done has created some changes, and that you're likely to see sort of the fallout of this. Now, he's definitely writing out the word a feud. So there was some kind of conflict, and he's writing now the number 5, which is about conflicts and challenges. But he just wrote the word peaceful after that. So, and they're writing angel number 22, which is to remind you to keep the faith. And I'll share this with you. The Numbers angel 22 reads, "The angels can see the positive results of your prayers, and they want you to have patience and stay optimistic while the final details are being worked out in heaven. This is an urgent call from the angels to keep the faith." So you may want to just really jump in there. We may all want to see changes happen to our liking. And this could be personal, this could be on many different platforms on the world stage, that where your attention is drawn, where you're watching some kind of feud, or you've experienced something recently, and you want to resolve it. You want to bring peace to everyone, and especially for yourself. And what I've found, and especially when in personal situations, that you have to pray, which means you need to distract yourself. And when you pray, it's like you're talking. When you are talking to God, you're talking on that vibrational frequency. You are seeking connection on that communication line, transmission, if you will. And it is assured that when you begin to talk on that level, when you begin to elicit this level of understanding, that you will begin to create the elements that will allow you to have a shift, that will allow the burn or the sting of what has happened to begin to dissipate, to begin to untangle itself. So prayer in that way is a distraction from the energy that you are giving. And what I mean by that is, when you're not praying, you are not even acknowledging that there is a higher possibility for this situation, this problem. So when you're just in the midst of the conflict, or you're struggling, or you're worrying, or you're suffering, you haven't sought a different option other than the options on that same playing field. So we're talking about dimensions, and then we're talking about working within those dimensions, and you can try to find solutions within the dimension of what is occurring, the conflict. But you really need to get out of that dimension and tap into higher dimensions, where the information that flows there comes enlightened and in a different way, in a different perspective. Again, tapping into those other facets, so that we can really bring as much truth as it is possible for you to allow, by which that means you have to release what you are fixated upon. And so when this happens, the thing is that the only thing you can really do in these moments is, if you keep going and trying to resolve it, you keep thinking about it, you keep trying to fix it, you keep talking about it with everybody and complaining about it, then what you're doing is you're keeping the vibration of that level of consciousness wide open, which means that you can experience all kinds of things that have a vibrational relationship to it. So this is why we usually see, you say, oh, when it rains, it pours. Yeah, because when anything is emotionally charged and it's negatively charged, then you have just left yourself vulnerable. You've left all of the doors wide open, the windows wide open, for you to attract similar vibrations around this particular one. And vibrations are not so specific that they exclude a lot of other things. Vibration is so general that it draws a lot of things like it. So you may be stuck in details, like of the happenings and words that were said, when all of that is adding up to a general perspective or vibrational point of view. And it's that point of view that becomes the offering, the signal that is being sent out, and the signals that are attracting those things that are similar to it. And so the thing is that you really have to cut yourself off completely from that energy. Forget about it. Move on. And that's when the universe can really, when heaven can really step in and orchestrate the clear solutions, because once you cry out in your pain and your suffering, and this is also beautiful, the universe knows the answer. Your cry creates the answer. And you're waiting to get the signal to receive the transmission of what those answers, solutions, opportunities, options are for you. And it happens very quickly. But we stay in that pain, and so we can't hear anything because our pain is that's loud. It's just taking over everything else. And so the answer solutions are sitting there waiting because there's no intrusion. You have free will. Nobody's stepping on your toes in the universe. They'll let you, when you get tired of that, they'll let you, have your moment and then say, here you go. When you're ready, they know when the moment's right. And it's no use in trying to put something in your hands when you may drop it because you're not ready for it. So, but they have this kind of perfection in that things drop into place when you are in the perfect place to receive them. And isn't that kind of wonderful that it's always this way? Things just drop into place when you're in the perfect place to receive them. And so when we do that, when we drop that thing, we allow the orchestration of whatever it is that we need to be placed in our vision. Here's where now we get the solution, and now, or the idea, the insight, or we're inspired in some way. And that's what inspiration does, because it makes a window into your mind for you to be able to recognize the goals, the opportunities that you're looking for. As we were talking about this last week, if your mind is looking for something else because it's focused on that, it won't see the rest. And so that's really, really important for us to be open to that we have to let go. We have to have faith, because when we place our attention to our faith, then that's giving the universe permission to orchestrate the miracles that you need. And the miracles, all miracles, are just grand gestures of love. And a grand gesture of love can manifest as something so tiny as the smile of a baby, or a bird singing, or a beautiful color, radiant color of a flower, or it can be this huge, sense of support and recognition and accolades, or it could be some form of success that you've achieved, and a material value of something that you've achieved, a reward that you've worked for. The gamut, all of creation is an expression of this miracle, this love. And so you just have to be in the right place to recognize when what they are, and where they are, and how they are bringing fulfillment into your life. Okay, so let's take a look at the card for the Archangel Oracle. And we have Archangel Raziel. And This is about spiritual understanding. It says, I'm bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. So with this card, for me, Archangel Raziel's name means the secrets of God. So this is, for me, Archangel Raziel really, when I've seen this card, I know to pay attention. Really pay attention to the signs. Don't dismiss things as pure coincidence, but also don't don't be superstitious either, right? So there's a balance. And superstitious is when we look at something and we think, oh, this is going to happen, and it usually errs on the side of being negative, or like thinking that there's a bad omen or something. So we have to be, as spiritual teachers and healers, we also have to be cautious of this, being superstitious about certain events that kind of just happen, and going, oh, this means that this bad thing is happening, or this is the reason why you're this. We have to be a little careful about how we place things. And I always say that the only way to avoid that is to always let love be the voice that speaks through you. And that is not to say that love cannot tell it like it is. It can do that. But even when doing so, the person is always uplifted. When someone hears something in a sort of a spiritual way, and, quote unquote, and it, giving them some reason why, things aren't happening the way they would like them to happen, and you feel the person's energy dropping, then that's when we have to be careful, because I just really believe that we're always uplifted or empowered. And that does not mean by spirit that that we don't hear it like it needs to be heard. You know what I'm trying to say? But when you do give it to the person the way it needs to be, so they can hear it, it still empowers them. I've never seen it fail. It still uplifts them. So that we tread this line in our work. And I know right now, watching just some people doing videos on, like the Meghan Markle or the Duchess and the Duke of Sussex marriage breaking up, and it just doesn't seem unbiased, and it doesn't seem why are we asking questions like that? Like, I would hope no one ever comes to me for a question like that. Because if you have a personal feeling like that, then about something in your life, you need to investigate it instead of being afraid of it and coming to someone to, to help validate your suspicions. Because if you're looking for something, you're going to find something. It may not be that, but you're going to find something negative. And so the best thing to do is to confront your fears with that you've confronted your fear, in order that your focus, your agenda is to seek the truth, to be set free, not to be. We fear it because we fear the pain, but if we think of truth as setting us free, because that's what it really is going to do. The truth will empower you. It will allow you to be free, because like I know, when you're afraid, and it just consumes your heart, the flame within you. Your body is in turmoil. So this is, don't be afraid to just get the truth. Don't wait to talk to somebody. Get it for yourself. Go ahead and ask the question that needs to be asked, but do it through the voice of love. Use love. And you may not know how that's going to happen, but if you are embracing that consciousness, it will reveal through you and help you to seek what you're looking for, and in a way that everybody feels your love. Doesn't mean that you cannot say how you feel, and it does not mean that you can tell it like it is. But I've had people tell it like it is, but I can feel their love. Just like, when our parents tell us sometimes like how it is, you can still feel their love. Sometimes it's maybe it's a little misguided, because nobody really knows you like you do and knows what's behind your reasoning and your convictions. But you can still feel it. And we're talking about you and I being stewards of this love, and knowing that our goal, if you just have one goal, to uplift or to empower. So if you got to tell it like it is, don't worry about that detail, but know that that's just something that has to be done. But focus on the vibration of empowering someone or uplifting them, and you will call the voice of love through you, without a doubt. So be aware of the information that's floating around you, and to be a channel of it by wanting to inspire, uplift, and empower. So we're not afraid of the truth, but we want to embrace it through these attributes. Okay, so let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week and see where we are. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands, and all the Knights are about action, being out on missions, needing to feel engaged, and they want to be out there engaging life, helping to move it along, helping to impact it in some way. So this is telling me that you have this desire, that you're playing this role right now, and you may be, because this Knight is usually a little restless, and there's some ideas. Maybe you have a lot of ideas coming, and you can just feel this desire now to make an impact with these ideas, to share these ideas. And sometimes we put a lot of stuff in our way, like we become afraid of failure. Mine is perfectionism, and just putting too much expectations, not recognizing that people have a great appreciation for what it is that I do and I offer. So it's just that we get caught up in those things, and then we don't do them. We don't do the things, we don't follow through on those ideas, because we put up all these walls of requirements in order to be able to do it. And if you just have this idea that comes to you it's inspiring you, and you want to, you just want to put it out there, you want to impact others' lives in a positive way, there's nothing stopping you from doing that right then and there. And I don't know if I'm getting this feeling that, there may be someone that maybe you've watched a conflict between some other people, and you may want to reach out, and you've been inspired to reach out to that person, or to reach out to both of them separately, and to share a word with them, as we would say when I was growing up in the South. You may want to share a word with them, but you're holding back because you're afraid that you're gonna rub them the wrong way. Maybe this person is someone who's got a very unpredictable sort of temperament like this night, but you could be feeling very uneasy within yourself about not taking this chance, this opportunity. And this may be the way that the universe is using you to be a miracle in their lives. So do not hesitate in doing that. And don't hesitate ever in doing whatever it is that you're inspired to do. Be assertive. Be, like if you're feeling restless, then sink yourself into that, because there's a reason for that there. That's energy moving and wanting you to move forward and to step into something. And it's trying to prevent you from being complacent. So don't let that energy unsettle you either. Okay? Let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. So we have the Three of Swords here. And this is about words that hurt to the heart. This is what this symbolism really means, because this is still about communication, or intellect, or speaking your truth. The suit. So the everybody calls this the heartbreak card, because it's what caused it is what this is really important. And so this is kind of getting back to something that has happened, words that have created this pain in the heart. And so, it's about you paying attention, and being open to, I feel like this is something where you can step in and you have some ideas, you have some ways to help people feel better and to feel supported, to maybe help heal some hearts. Okay? So pay attention to not allowing yourself to take words to heart as well. All right? Trust your instincts. He's kind of turned away from this whole thing. So this is something that feels like, don't let this be a distraction for you. These words, focus on what you're being inspired to do, what you're feeling is your purpose in this moment. Don't let somebody else's words distract you, or to cause you to not believe in yourself. All right, and what your heart wants to accomplish. Now let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. Interesting, because I was thinking about this card because it came up a couple of weeks ago. And the symbolism is very different from the traditional. And but when I was thinking about it, I was looking at it, and you just see this geometric shape, and it's like all these facets, like of the diamond here. And this really talks about all, for me, when I thought about it, all the facets of our soul, and all the ways that it can fulfill itself. And recognizing that, recognizing all the facets, recognizing all the parts of yourself, recognizing what represents being whole, what represents wholeness for you, that fulfills you, that for spiritually, that inner contentment, and joy, having this in your relationships. So there is something here, contrast with this card here, and is that you want to pay attention. When somebody takes a stab at something with words and it hurts your heart, there's so much more to you. There's so much more to you than just that thing, that one thing that gets pointed out. And maybe there's just something that sort of is said or is done that, where it's like a trigger, and you're triggered and you want to just drop the whole thing, and you want to just crawl up into a fetal position and just, drown yourself in your sorrows. But I want you to remember that there's more facets of you. And don't just give up because that one somebody points out one thing to you, and that they maybe didn't mean to do it in a way that was harmful, but the criticism was nonetheless still had an effect on your mind and on your psyche. But really open yourself up. Let the other aspects of you embrace this pain, and embrace how you're thinking about yourself, because the thing is that when we focus like this, we exclude so much more. And so take your time and take your attention to those parts, and to regain sort of an alignment and perspective. And you may end up learning more about yourself because of this, and gain this greater clarity, because there may be some other aspects of yourself that you needed to really tap into, but you were putting too much emphasis on this one, and then when somebody said something, you took it personally, and it's like you collapse. And so that means that's not the person's fault. It means that you've put too much on this one. You put too much pressure. You have excluded so many other aspects of yourself. And this card for me too is about like the you see traditionally the relationship with the family, but I like to think of this card as too, because it looks like a world here. The relationship with the world around you, and bringing that ideal love thy neighbor as thyself kind of thing, and that that you find joy and love through helping people, through charity or service. So don't let whatever this mission that you have, that you're just aching, that you're passionate about, this purpose that you're just dying to get out there and put out there, don't allow one thing to throw everything out of balance. And then that word balance that they're talking about earlier comes back to my mind. So if something hurts you that much, that one thing hurts you that much, then that means that you're out of balance in terms of bringing all the aspects of yourself to the table and nurturing them, acknowledging them, and utilizing them. You're excluding. And if this situation helps you to rediscover all that you are, then this is a really huge paradigm shift for you that will just open up for so many other possibilities of abundance. All right, let's take a look at the card that I've already pulled from the bottom of the deck. So it's the Moon card, and this is really interesting, isn't it? Very beautiful. Sort of placid, sort of water, so it looks like a glass, right? And she's just sitting there on this quartz crystal, and so you can see the mountains reflecting the moon. So this is a time for reflection. So what's going on, this possible conflict, is an opportunity for you to reflect, for you to go within, for you to get some clarity, the clarity that you need, to really hear, what's going on deep down in your subconscious, and just pay attention to what surfaces. And don't attack what surfaces, don't criticize it, but let it be information. It's bringing you spiritual understanding that's going to help you to heal and to bring that healing to others. Because once you get something for yourself, this is when you're motivated to share it, or it may expand in some of the things that you're already doing, and just as that key that you've been looking for. All right, to really give you the direction or the motivation. All right, so very, very, very interesting reading here. I just want to feel like there's something else about this Moon card, but That's but it's not coming to me right now. But it just all makes sense with this, especially with the Three of Swords and the Moon card and the Spiritual Understanding card. So don't take anything to heart, okay? And what I wanted to say is, eventually, when you stop talking about it, and I've experienced this person for myself, one day that person or that situation they're going to have a completely different attitude towards you. And it's going to take time, but there's going to be more healing. So that first time won't be the end, won't be all of what the healing will be, but it'll be the start of it, and then it will continue. Okay, so just don't take it personally, and see what it was teaching you and how it was helping you. What was it revealing to you that you have been ignoring and haven't really paid attention and acknowledged? Because we need acknowledgement, but we have to learn to give that acknowledgement to ourselves, to the other parts of ourselves. Sometimes we get so fixated on things about us that aren't right, don't work right, don't look right, and we forget all about the other stuff, all the good stuff, and we experience it. We just don't give it enough credit. When somebody else acknowledges it, we play it off, we dismiss it, we turn our head, we put our heads down, all that kind of stuff. And that is you denying what you deserve. Those are miracles. When somebody opens up and shares something positive about you, that's a act of love. That's a miracle, and we should not dismiss them. So that when one thing that happens, because we are always negatively focused on ourselves, and then when somebody points it out, then our whole world comes crashing in on us. But if we acknowledged everything, all that other good stuff, that one thing would never tumble your world. And so this is something that you need to reflect on, and that you need to adjust within yourself. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and I thank you for all of your support on this channel. And if you're looking for an angel reading, you can contact me at theangelschool.com, which you can find in the link below this video. The daily card messages are from Monday through Friday, and if you haven't done that yet, please go there, click on the link, and because it really goes into much more about the week by the days, and really insightful. I know I do it mainly because I get so much out of it for myself. It allows me to really connect in on a daily basis in a way that I don't think you can do for yourself. When you're doing something for other people, you're receiving equally. It's always balance, and this is something that gives me that balance back. All of this does. So have a good week, and God bless you all.